Well, hello there. And this is your favorite girl, Auntie. And I am going live to have a live discussions about The Handmaid's Tale, season 2, episode 8, A Woman's Work. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you so much for being here, and to all of my nieces and nephews who have been with Auntie for the long haul. Thank you so much. I want to say hi to Katie Coco, Victoria G, Jess Sarah, and Donna Dixon. Thank you all so much for being here. Hi, Tasha, Merlin A. Hi, how are you? I love your new name, Merlin A. All my cousins and Auntie together. Yes, I love that new name. Hi, Miss Shay says, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Jessica J. Abed and Miss Shay says, I also want to say hi to all of those people across the globe who watch my YouTube channel. I was so shocked when I went out there and kind of looked to see that Australia is here, the United Kingdom is here. People, Jamaica, Trinidad, and Tobago, and all of those other places. I'm so happy that you all are here. If I missed anybody, I apologize. Counted against my mind and not my heart. We are going to go ahead. Thank you so much, Marilyn A. We are going to go ahead on and get into this review, y'all. I'm sorry that I missed last week. Had a whole lot of stuff that was going on. Oh, Olaf from Hawaii. Hi, Giovanna. Hi, welcome. Hi, Cynthia M. You know, again, I want to say, hey, Steph Ish. Hi, Auntie. I don't even watch this show, but just enjoy you so much. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I enjoy you all too. Oh, I wouldn't do this. Trust me. It's a lot of work, and I absolutely would not do it if it wasn't for you all. I'm going to go ahead and get into this review um, about The Handmaid's Tale again. I apologize for not being out here last week and having an opportunity to talk with you all. Um, I had so much that was going on and just couldn't be here. And so I apologize for not. Just one second, y'all. I'm trying to set my settings because my phone goes off and I have a lot of notes and I don't want it to keep going off like this. Let's see. Should have asked. Hmm, there we go. Let's see. Okay. Anyway, I'm just gonna have to keep on hitting the screen because I don't want to belabor this. Um, I really don't. I want to go ahead and get into this review of Handmaid Tales. I don't know how many of you are actually watching this show. Um, I guess if you're here tonight, you are watching it, or if not, you just like to hear your auntie talk. But this show is getting richer and richer by the minute. I mean, I'm telling you, there's so many twists and turns that are going on in Gilead. Do you hear what I'm saying? We open up this episode with Alfred and Miss Waterford Serena still sitting in the commander's study, and basically they are breaking the law. In Gilead, women are not to read, they're not to write, they're not to do anything. And these two women are not only reading and writing and doing arithmetic, they are plotting to change some of the laws in Gilead. It appears that Serena, based on some situations that have gone on, is having a change of heart about the rules in Gilead. As we know from last week's episode, Off Glenn came in with a bomb and basically blew up the new Rachel and Leah Center. As a result of that, we lost a bunch of commanders and a bunch of handmaids. When we left off the week before last, we saw them go out basically. I mean, last week we saw them go out and basically pull some of the women from the from the mines, from the unwomen. We saw them pull the handmaids because they lost so many of them. And Janine, and I believe her name is Off Kelly. I want to say her name is. I may be wrong. If I am, put it down in the comment section. They brought those two and a couple of other women back into the fold because they had lost so many handmaids. They needed to recoup their losses. And I don't know if these women are radioactive yet because this is a wasteland of radioactive materials and stuff like that. The women basically go there to basically die and shovel the whole time. Yeah, okay, the whole time. That's what they do. They get up in the morning, they shovel this stuff because their intention is to try to get rid of this toxic waste by putting it in bags and putting them in these different places so that they can, basically clean the soil and all of that kind of stuff. I don't know where their thinking is, but okay. Because of pollution and all of that, the mortality rate and the rate of women being able to conceive and have babies is just basically slim to none. And so this is why they do what they do with the whoop whoop and the boop boop boop. So anyway, we see them sitting in the office and they've been in there all night. Alfred goes on to say, Fred goes on to say, basically, this is a woman's work. They're not supposed to be doing this. And she really now feels a connection to Serena. The commander is still in the hospital because, as we know, he did not die from the blast. I so was hoping that he was going to die, but I guess they needed the plot to thicken just a little bit more before they killed him off. But it wouldn't have bothered me any if he had basically died in the blast. But he didn't. He was in the hospital, and as a result of him being in the hospital, Serena was kind of in charge and kind of forging things in his name, plotting and doing different things, saving basically the world and her husband. And her and Alfred, again, they started writing all this stuff. And so Alfred goes on to say, do you miss working? And, Serena is basically like, well, what's a small sacrifice for the cause? Keep on editing my stuff. So Serena is basically the one who's writing these laws. And because Alfred was an editor, she asked her to edit her documents, look over them and everything. And so, when she asked her about, whether or not she basically misses it, she basically tells her, no, it's a sacrifice. She says, but I hate knitting. And as we remember, there was an episode, in one of the episodes, Serena took it through some knitting needles on the floor to embarrass, belittle Alfred and let her know you're going to stay in your place with this baby and all of this kind of stuff. So, we always see her around knitting, carrying, different things to different people's houses, just being, one of them stepper type of wives. And so we see Alfred get up and walk over to Serena. She tells her, hey, look, you got to make a few more edits. And then this is going to be ready to go to the hospital, to the commander to get him to sign it. And so Serena's like, well, it don't have to go to the hospital. He's coming home. And so Alfred is like, really? He's coming home? God damn, I have enjoyed him not being here. And you can imagine someone who is lurking and stalking and, forcing you to have, sex with them once a month to be rid of this person. She probably was like, dippity doo dah, dippity day. Oh my golly, what a wonderful day. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and then to find out that he's coming back. So the next day we see, basically Serena. Let me make sure I got all the notes on that. Serena tells Alfred, during that time when they're in the office, I forgot this part. She tells her that time that when they're in the office, she's like, I won't forget your help. I will not forget that you have helped me. Now we all know that the two of them did not like each other, but they have on and off moments of when they're getting along, when they're working together for the same cause. Alfred has a tendency to let her guard down, and I'm just thinking to myself, no, don't let your guards down. Do what you're asked to do, but don't think that you all are on the same team. Now they were on the same team to get rid of what is his name, Mr. Kutcher last week. They've been on the same team as far as certain things, but don't ever forget your place. Gilead has a way of letting every woman know what her place is. And so I'm really, really, really afraid that Alfred is letting her guard down too low. You all may not agree with me, but I'm telling you right now, Sabrina has moments of humanity. And I just don't think that the humanity that she has, unless it's to benefit her, that the humanity that she has is really true humanity. We see glimpses of it, but I just don't. I just think that she's setting herself up for a letdown. So, we see, basically the commander come back home. So Serena has everybody standing at the door. She has the Martha, she has little lady Eden, and then she has Offer who's standing up on the stairs like, I do not feel like standing down there waiting for this man to come through no door at attention. And she's like, okay, come on now. Enough is enough. We got to cover this up. We're supposed to be arch enemies. We're not supposed to get along. Get your ass down here and stand in line like everybody else. So Alfred comes down and everything, and she stands in line, at attention like everybody else in the household. And when he comes in, he tells Mary, he tells her, I missed your cooking, and she was like, I made all your favorite meals. And she smiles and grins at him and everything. And then, he tells little Eden, hi, baby, she's like, I made this for you on behalf of me and Nick. Looked like it was a little handkerchief made out of some little cheap cloth or whatever. And so, he goes over to her and he goes over to Alfred and he talks about the little miracle, which is the baby that's growing in her womb and everything. And so, she's grossed out, and I would try to get grossed out too. So we see Sabrina, him having a conversation with Alfred, and it just lingering on too long, like the looks and everything, because he looking at her like, okay. And Serena caught that. And she was like, well, come on, let's go. You're looking too hard and looking too greedy and needy. Come on, let's go. So she takes him upstairs and everything. And then when she takes him upstairs, she takes him into the office, his study. And of course, they've been working on stuff. She cleared off his schedule and knickknack and everything. And, she also has his documentation for the Canadian convention, or, these different people that's coming on, whatever. They trying to sell this to Canada, but Canada ain't going for this crap, because Canada right now is a place of refuge for those people who were living in the former United States of America, which is now Gilead. And so, he's like, come on, come on, get the hell out of my office. He basically puts Serena out and closes the door. He tells her, when he gets up into the room, that she took a lot of risk for him and that he appreciates it. But basically, I don't think that the commander liked the fact that she was running things the way she did. And maybe some of the decisions that she made, I don't think that the commander liked it too much. I think that, basically, he is the commander. He know that people were looking at him crooked eye, because of the fact that Alfred had went away for 3 months. And so, basically he's like, I appreciate you and everything. I like what you did for me, but don't overstep your bounds. This is still Gilead, and I'm still the man up in this house. Get your ass out of my office. I didn't invite you in here. Get out. You too familiar with it. I see you moving ink pens and stuff like that around on my desk. That's what you're not gonna do. So, she goes out the room and she feeling some kind of way now. Serena, basically got put in her place. She tries to get him to sign that paperwork that her and old girlfriend are manipulated without him looking, thinking that he weak. He ain't that damn weak. He may be weak physically, but mentally, he on point. Okay. So meantime, and in between time, we see Nick's little new wife Eden asks, asks Alfred, do you think that he liked it? She was like, girl, don't nobody give a damn if he liked that handkerchief that you did. She was like, girl, yeah, I guess, yeah, whatever. This little girl, I'm telling y'all right now, she is going to be the death of Nick. She's too nosy. She's too needy. She wants to fit in. She's 15 years old. She's been programmed to believe that this is, the way of life, and that, pleasing her husband, having a baby is a thing that is important, I guess. And I mean, she's just not getting it because she's never suffered long. She's never lived another life. The only life that she's ever lived is under the rules of Gilead. So she is, excuse me, y'all, 100% sold into this lifestyle. So we see Nick, he comes home. And she tells Nick the commander is home and he won't have to spend as much time at the hospital. Now, as we know, Nick is terribly in love with Alfred, June, and she's in love with him too. But they both got to play their roles. They have to stay in their place. He was, forced to marry this particular girl. This was allegedly, a promotion in Gilead, and he ain't feeling it. And so, he's like, basically, since the commander is out of the hospital, I'm gonna be spending more time out the house. How you like me now? So she was like, well, my mother says happy wife, happy life, happy husband, happy whatever. And so Nick was like, whatever. She was like, well, I want to do some decorating in the house. I want to, go and get some, yellow fabric and stuff because yellow is my favorite color. So Nick was like, do what you got to do. I really don't care. You're a thorn in my side. You're not the first thing on my agenda and not the last thing. Really can't stand your ass. They forced me to be with you. And I don't care, little girl. Do whatever you want to do to make yourself happy and feel fulfilled in this relationship. Because what you're not going to do is get anything out of me. So I was like, okay, Nick on his own, you know what I'm saying? So next thing we see is let's see. So we see Serena. She comes in and tells um Alfred that baby Angela is getting sick. And because she's down there, she's getting ready to do what she do with the boo 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 boo. They going, she's down there talking to the Martha. And the Martha's like, girl, that damn Eden that came down here and used my sugar. Can you please pick me some sugar up from the grocery store because I ain't gonna never see it again. So, Arthur was like, yeah, girl, I just, I can't stand her ass. And she was like, yeah, I can't stand her either. So then we see Serena comes in, she's getting her little green cape on, and she's like, I'm going over to the Pupman's house because baby Angela's not feeling good. And she tells them that, wait a minute, hold on. Okay, yeah, that's what's going on. So, so she tells her that, I'm gonna go on over here and check on the baby, and she's gonna need some help, and so I'll be back. So she was like, all right, okay, deuces, do what you got to do, woo, 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 woo. Okay, wait a minute, y'all. I'm pausing for a minute for the calls. Okay, so we see Offer. She goes up to the room. And remember when they were doing the writing and stuff, basically she was telling her that, she's going to remember it. She brings the music box back that she once had and she puts a white flower on the bed. And so Alfred is like, you know what? I enjoy working with you too. I really did enjoy working with you too. We see Alfred, later on, and the ladies, they're going to the grocery store. And, they all got to walk two by two. But Janine, because she's so damn crazy, she got extra guards around her, okay? So she's making fun, praise be. And she was like, beam me up, Scotty, and some more stuff. And she's talking about, Offer being pregnant and that the baby feet is going to come out like alien and stuff like that. And they're kind of making light. They go to the grocery store, and at this point they realize, they're in the grocery store, and all of them are talking about, who they with. And Janine made a comment to Alfred and was like, good thing you pregnant. And she was like, I'm glad with my new placement because she's in a new home. And she says, all I have to do is the ceremony. I don't have to do any blowjobs. And so, she was like, it's like heaven on earth. And so, the other maid, she flicked out. She was like, look, let me tell you something. Somebody forcing you to have sex is not heaven on earth. The only heaven on earth and the only good thing and the only blessing we got up in here was that bomb. And anybody that's going to be helping anybody on behalf of Gilead needs to get their ass blown up too. So at this point, we see, all the girls, basically drop down on their knees, and we hear this ambulance coming. And it's not the regular old ambulance. It has like a little melody to, the little siren. And so basically it's the baby's thing. So they all get down on their knees and they pray, all the handmaids, because all the handmaids in the store, they on a curfew. That's the only thing they can do is go to the damn store and come back and. And so they all get down on their knees and everything, and they're praying. And one of the girls says, oh my God, it's baby Angela. Well, baby Angela was the baby that Janine had in season 1. In season 1, Janine had the baby for the Putmans. And she like went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs when they took the baby from her. Now, I was talking to my daughter, and I was like, Janine always been crazy. And my daughter was like, no, she wasn't always crazy, Mom. She got crazy when they took her eye out. And I always felt like Janine was a little cuckoo for Cocoa Pop. But my daughter was like, if they take your eye out and you walking around like that, you're going to be a little crazy. And I guess I would when I got just barely a stitch. That just hold my eye down like that. You know what I'm saying? Praise be. May the Lord open. May the Lord open up my other goddamn eye. That's what I need the Lord to open. I need him to put that eye back. May the Lord open up that. So, Janine's cooking for Cocoa Puffs. Mr. Putman was, having, some little extra marital stuff with her. She got up on the bridge with the baby in her arm, baby Charlotte, because she had called the baby Charlotte. She named the baby Charlotte, but the Putmans named the baby Angela. So when she went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, she got up on the bridge with the baby in her arm and was like, blessed be up in this. Okay. So Arthur was able to Janine to give her the baby back. But Janine was like, okay, you can take the baby back, but I'm jumping. Okay. So she jumps. We think she did. She did. So that's why when you saw in the last episode, basically she was, telling the girl, I don't feel the way that you feel because I feel like the Lord saved my life twice. He saved my life when when they took my damn eye out, and he saved my life when I jumped off the bridge. So I believe that there's a purpose for me still living. Okay, Janine. So basically, Janine is still connected to the baby as probably most of us will or would be if we had to have a baby and then give it up to somebody else. So anyway, and in the who, they get down on their knees and they start praying. And then one of the little handmaids was like, "Oh my God, that's baby Angela." So Janine was like, "What? What? Dana? Why is she saying that? That's not baby. That's not my baby." Now I don't understand why they won't give this girl a damn a little pat. I mean, at least she could like, put the patch on, like have it the patch tilted to the side like that. And maybe put like some little a little eyelash on it, and make the mask like that. I mean, get a girl a damn patch on her. But they just was like, no, hell no. We gonna make an example out your ass for anybody that want to act a fool up ahead. So, Janine on the floor, like, why is she saying it? It's not Angela, it's not Charlotte, it's not Charlotte. So they like, no, girl, that's Charlotte. And I know. So Alfred was like, get your ass together, girl, before you get all of us fucked up in here. She was like, what? She was like, okay, look, come on outside, calm your ass down so I can tell you what's going on. She was like, look, damn it. It's your baby. It's Angela's baby, Angela. Serena, when she left the house this morning, she said that, that she was going to see baby Angela. She won't feeling good. Now she's going over to the hospital. What? I can't believe she's going into the hospital. I've got to get there. This can't be my baby. Why are you saying no? So the police, the officer came over, grabbed her. So look, Oprah was like, I got her. You know how your girlfriend going off in the club and everything, drunk and acting a fool. You be like, no, I got her. So, she was like, I got her. So, Janine was like, where my baby? I can't. She was like, if you don't calm the fuck down, calm. Now I'm telling you, you got to calm down so we can find out what's going on with the baby. I will try to see whether or not you can go over to the hospital to see the baby, but you can't be acting no ass like this. You understand what I'm saying? So she was like, I'm going to try to ask Miss Serena what's going on. I want to go to the hospital to see my baby. So Alfred was like, that's not possible. So Janine was like, you talking just like that. So she get to walking, with the guard and everything. So Alfred is thinking in her heart, I've already been through this. I've already been told, no, I can't see my daughter. I know my daughter is alive and that she exists, and I can't see my daughter. So I'm trying to help you help your damn self. And I'm trying not to get you back over there at the mines or shot down dead on the ground. Now, we remember last week when one of the Marthas was out there basically trying to pull her identification out, her little hood, and got shot down on the ground. So she was like, look, damn it, I done seen them dropping out of here like flies. And I'm trying to save your one-eyed life. You understand what I'm saying? You got one life to live with that one eye. Get your ass in check. So basically, we see them walking off, and everything, Alfred is all upset, she feeling some kind of way and all that old kind of stuff. And I'm just like, whatever. So later on, we see Serena come up, Alfred's up in the room, what I'm saying, praying. She can't do nothing else but stand up there, and pray and everything. And so, who is that down there, Lena asked with the eyes? Lena asked, oh, okay, wait a minute. Time out, special announcement. Lena is going to be one of our new moderators. So congratulations, Lena. Soon as I finish this, I will make sure that I put that out there. So if you all can congratulate Lena S. She is going to be one of our new moderators. Don't forget, y'all, when y'all come into the room to hit that thumbs up button. So please congratulate her on that. So basically, she's upstairs and she's praying and everything. And so Serena comes in, the baby messed up. So Serena's like, look, I need your advice. And so she was like, you know what? She was like, oh, that's right. Thank you for the jewelry box, and for, the flower. But the thing about it was that Serena was like, oh, I saw you saw the jewelry box. Well, it ain't nothing but five things in the damn room. How the hell is she not gonna see the jewelry box when the jewelry box is, sitting there anyway? So, basically, Serena tells her Angela is getting sick and it's getting worse. She's not getting any better. And I just don't believe that Gilead is using all of its resources. And so Alfred was like, well, why aren't they? I mean, they need to be using all their resources. And she was like, because it's basically against the law to use these resources. One of the best specialists, basically is a Martha. Well, she ain't tell her all that. I'm telling y'all. One of the best resources and one of the top doctors in the country is a Martha. And as we know, women can't work, they can't do anything. And so she was like, look, if it was me, in order to save the baby's life, law or no law, I would basically do whatever I had to do to get that baby, to save that baby's life. So basically, Serena was like, yeah, I think you're probably right. So she goes in there with the commander and was like, you want some tea? So the commander laying, he up in the bed like, yeah, I'll take some tea. Go get a tea sipper first. 'Cause I don't trust you anymore. So basically, she's like, I went over to see the baby and the baby's not doing that well. And he was like, oh, okay, may the Lord bless, may the Lord light, may the Lord save the baby, may the Lord delight. I mean, at this point, he don't really care. So she was like, we have somebody that is a top surgeon and doctor, and they could probably really come in and assess the baby. And he was like, oh, that's good. When are you gonna get here? And she was like, it's a she. And so he was like, it's a she. Well, you know what? We can't control God's hands. And she was like, I mean, can't you just do a temporary transfer, allow the mother to go into the hospital and look at the baby and then, make an assessment and then change her back, to a Martha again, like we do Superman? And so he was like, hell to the no. I'm not signing anything like that. This is a man's world. This is a man's world. And it wouldn't be nothing without my signature. Well, he basically was like, no, I ain't signing a damn thing. So she was like, oh, okay, that's what you think. I've been signing stuff since you've been laying on your back in the hospital. That's what you think? Okay. So basically, wait a minute, y'all. Let me go back to my notes. Wait a minute, y'all. So we see Alfred sitting downstairs. I mean, Serena sitting downstairs. She done and she tired and she through. So Alfred he said no. Why? She sits down beside Serena, and Serena's like, because, he a man and that's what he can do. It's his decision. And she was like, damn. I mean, it's just like that. She was like, yeah, it's like that. And so she was like, well, can Janice go and see the baby? And she was like, you talking about Janine, the same one that tried to kill the baby on the bridge? And Alfred was like, you know what? She only did that because she was whacked out. I mean, how would you feel if you lost your damn eye? So, so Serena was like, look, I ain't trying to get in the middle of this stuff. And she was like, what if this is her last chance to see this baby? So she was like, girl, bye, whatever. So next thing we see is Serena in a hospital. She considered it. And she went to the apartments to the wife. And I believe the wife's name is Rachel. And she was like, look, Rachel, look, Janine, the baby is getting sick. Angela's getting sick. And I really want you to consider allowing her to see the baby. And so she was like, that whore. And she was like, that whore gave you a baby. That whore had the blessing of the Lord upon her and became pregnant on your behalf and gave you a blessing. You complaining ass bitch. See, Miss Pupman has been complaining about this baby ever since she had her. I don't believe she really wants the baby. I just believe that she feels it's her duty to have a baby. And she ain't really kidding about that baby. I don't know what she was doing to the baby and why the baby got sick, but anyway, I digress. So, the husband walked up and was like, what's going on there? Y'all know he got his hand cut off, right? So he nubbing it. You know what I'm saying? He like, what's going on? What? What's going on? And so she was like, put that nub down. He's like, oh, okay. What's going on? So she was like, I really want Janine to get a chance to come and see the baby. So he was like, made a little open. Janine's legs for me. I mean, God dang it. Yeah, I believe that God will want us to forgive her. So the wife is looking like, so they allow Janine to come see the baby. So Janine comes in, the hospital and everything with, Aunt Lydia and Alfred, because Alfred had told Sabrina, I promise if you allow Janine to come, I'll come and make sure nothing happens to the baby. So Sabrina was like, all right. So they come in with Aunt Lydia. Aunt Lydia, Janine gets off the elevator. She all off the hook and everything. Who's going away the baby yet? They was like, calm down. Jazz down. So, Aunt Lydia calms her down and sits her down. She out there like that. I said, I would have been playing. If that was me, I would have played that role. I'm trying to tell you, every time y'all to see me, I'm like, yeah. I'd have had my mouth open. Janine, she played a role, they just put the makeup on her and her eye, like, she'd be like that. But I'd have been like this on that day. Every time y'all to see me, understand, I did not. I'd have act like maybe so. Okay. So, Janine, Aunt Lydia takes her over there and she says, look, there's a reason why we don't let the handmaid see the baby. It's too emotional for them to see the sick babies. And so Alfred was like, yes, but Janine needs to see the baby. She's sick anyway. And so basically she needs to see the baby. And, whatever happens, she going to be okay. And so Aunt Lydia was like, look, I'm going to tell you, if something go down up in this joint, I'm going to hold you solely responsible for it. And so Alfred was like, you know what? You ain't the only one. I'm going to hold myself responsible for it. So, basically, we see, in the meantime and in between time, Serena. We see a Martha. She's coming up the steps. She's an African American woman. And she's coming up the steps with the guards. And she's like, why am I here? And so, they don't not telling her why she's here. She comes out, she goes into a room. And in the room, Serena's standing in the door because she's sneaking. She's standing in the door. There's a young guy who's, a doctor, standing outside of a curtain. We see the Martha behind the curtain taking off her Martha outfit and putting on her doctor's coat. And she's extremely emotional. And this guy goes in, and he says, I really respected you. And I remember in 2012 that we were in, at a convention together, and you were the one who taught the doctor who taught me. And he was just singing, her accolades and basically telling, strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words. He was killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life. His words killing me softly with his song. Okay, that's what I'm telling y'all. That came up in my mind. He was telling her life. And Serena was like, look, we're going to stop with all of this. We have to keep moving on. So she was like, the time is short. We got to move on. So she comes out. He tells her, starts briefing her while she's still getting dressed, changing out of her clothing. And then, basically they walk out in the hallway. She's telling him, I need EKG. I need a brain scan. I need this test. I need that test. I just need everything. Okay. So basically, they walking down the hallway. She about to do. She said, well, I got to examine the baby. And so he gives her his stethoscope. Whatever. He give it a damn thing that you put around. I have always had problems saying that word. But anyway, so he gives that to her. And she puts it in her hand. And it's like, somewhere in my lifetime, you understand what I'm saying? It just somewhere in my lifetime. I'm trying to tell y'all, if I could sing this thing and do a musical all the way through this, oh my God. It brought her back to what she used to be and who she used to be. And although it was second nature to her, they have tried to kill her. And see, we see all these women in this episode really showing who they are. And last week's episode, they begin to call each other by their names and not their of names, but their real names. Brittany, June, Celestine, Karen. I just was like, oh my God, this is just, let me tell y'all something. Okay, let me keep going because I'm about to get emotional up on this mother. So, basically she examines the baby and she does everything that she needs to do for the baby. And they take Janine into to the room to see the baby. And the baby is laying in the incubator and it's just about dead. And it has a respiratory machine on it. I mean, everything. It's the baby is hooked up. It's under these different, blankets, and it's just really sad to see. And Janine is like basically losing it. And then as we stand there and we look at everything, we see the commander back at the ranch, and he leaves out of his office and he goes into Alfred's room. And it's at this time that he notices the musical box and the flower. He knows that his wife has been a complete bitch to Alfred. He knows that she doesn't like him. He's had to come in between a couple of the things. He's already probably read the documents, and he realizes that these two women are working together, and he's not going to have it up underneath his roof. Oh, hell no, he's not going to have it under his roof. And so we see, basically we go back to the hospital and we see them all standing, behind the glass where the baby is. The baby is in like a room, a neo room, and they're standing behind the glass. And we see the young doctor come out to the parents because the Martha is being, dressed back down into her Martha clothes and currently being, escorted out of the room. She's run all of her tests and everything. And we see him without words. They show us a visual of him telling the Putman something, and the wife goes off, and the husband holds her back. And Serena is upset and she yanks the door open and she runs out of the room. And on the other side, we have Alfred and Janine and Aunt Lydia, and Aunt Lydia says, to be present from the Lord, to be absent from the body, to be present for the Lord. May your soul rest with God eternally, whatever. She had already basically, you know, said the last rites to the baby. And basically it's Janine is like, no, this cannot be happening. And so we see Serena run up and on the staircase, and she asks the Martha, why are you leaving? Why didn't you do everything you could do? And she said, I did everything that I could do, and there's nothing medically wrong with this baby. See, when the young man was giving the Martha update on the baby, he was saying that the baby had been vomiting for 3 weeks and had been sick for the last 3 weeks. And so it was like, this, she said, there's nothing we can do. There's nothing that's coming up that's medically wrong with this baby. The only thing that I can suggest, and that I suggest that you do, is take the baby off all of that equipment and make the baby feel safe. Hug the baby, love the baby, because basically we've done everything we could do medically for the baby. So Sabrina is devastated because she's already, did all of this stuff behind her husband's back. She signed paperwork. She was optimistic that this was going to happen. How could this not happen? And so basically, they do what the doctors tell them to do. The Putmans are sitting in the room and they're holding the baby, and Aunt Lydia is there, and everybody's just devastated. And so, at this point, Alfred is like, can Janine please hold the baby? And they're like, you know what? Okay, the hell with it. Go hold the baby. So we see Janine going to the room with the baby and with the Putmans. And, everybody's got all this white stuff on their head, white caps, scrubs, everything on them. And so does Janine. Everybody does, because, I guess they don't want to contaminate the baby. And so after they do that, Janine gets the baby and she's holding the baby and everything. And the baby is so lifeless, y'all. And Janine's holding the baby. And then, she takes her mask off of her face. And then, Aunt Lydia takes her mask off her face. And then Janine starts peeling away at the gloves. And that she pulls the blanket back off of the baby head. We see a little piece of the head there. And she starts kissing the baby like only a mother would. Oh my God, I'm trying not to get emotional. So, she starts kissing the baby and just, my little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you mockingbird. And if that mockingbird don't sing, then Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring. And if that diamond ring don't shine, you know what I'm saying? Just a nursery rhyme that a mommy gonna sing, you know what I'm saying, to a baby. I'm talking about a real mama. I'm talking about the mama from the womb. I'm talking about the mama that loves that baby. And that's who Janine is. Later on, we see, Serena and Alfred come back to the house, and they like, oh my God, damn. And so we see Nick come in, and Nick was like, hey, what's up, y'all? Look, the commander want to see you, Serena, in his office. And you too, Alfred. He want to see your ass too. So Serena was like, look, let me handle this. I got this. They walk up into the office and everything. He waiting on them. What's up? So, look, Serena, you've been doing stuff, for me, and been taking a lot of risk, and you've been basically running things. I ain't had no idea that I signed for a transfer for Martha to go into the hospital room to examine a baby. And she was like, I did this for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this because I wanted to save the baby life. He was like, I didn't ask you to do that. You overstepped your bounds. You're a woman, remember? The most important thing for you to do is be obedient and submit to your husband. Then he gets out, out the Bible and starts reading wives. Submit to your own husband. You know what I'm saying? And so basically he was like, look, let me ask you something. I see your ass over there. Come here. Is this your handwriting, Alfred? She was like, let me see it. Yeah, that would be mine. He was like, oh, so your ass in here writing, huh? Y'all reading and writing up in this mofo, huh? So Serena was like, I always got your back, boo. I did that because, I was trying to have your back. He was like, oh, okay, really? Okay. So basically, he's like, yeah, take me to the water. Take me to the water. Take me to the water to be baptized. He goes over there and gets that Bible up off that shelf. He dusts that joint or blow the dust off of it. He started reading them scriptures. He gets that chair and take that chair and drag that chair across that room. He flipped that chair around. Serena was looking at him like, she put her hand up on the back of that chair. These the rules you put in place. Remember, Serena? Now you about to live by your own rules. He put that chair, that chair up there. She had her hands up on the daggone chair like that. Y'all, they were like that. And they were like that. He's got the unbuckling his pants. Alfred was looking like Serena was looking like he unbuckled them daggone pants and said, forgive me. And got to whooping her ass with a belt. And I mean, he started whooping her so hard with that belt, y'all, that his hair was shaking all up out of place. He looked like John Travolta. John Travolta. You understand what I'm saying? He was whooping her ass for everything she ever did. And this was a way to humiliate her. And Alfred turned around. Oh! He was like, Alfred, don't leave. I want you to see her get her ass whooped. How embarrassing. How degrading to have your husband beat the stew beans out of you. And I mean, I'm talking about he was taking that belt all the way to Mississippi and back, all the way. He beat the stew beans out of Serena. In the meantime, we see Nick. Nick comes home and Eden, I guess it did something to the room. Nick didn't care. He doesn't care. She's like, do you like the room? He like, yeah. She said, well, I want to do some curtains. Pick out a material. He said, yellow. She said, yeah, that's my favorite color. He was like, bitch, I know that. You just said it earlier today. I know. So he notices that the letters of the other handmaids were sitting on the top of the bed. Nick went off. He was like, what these damn letters doing up here? Where'd you get this from? She said, I found it when I was doing something to the bed. He said, did you read them? She was like, no. He said, bitch, I'm telling you, don't you lie to me. Did you read them? She was like, no, I ain't read them. Nick was like, he sat down on the edge of the bed and he know he can't trust her. He can't trust Eden because she knows he is hell. So she's trying to, what are those letters from? From whom? Cynthia M. Those letters are letters from other handmaids who have been trying to get out through the underground. And so, and a lot of them have written these letters to tell their story about their lives to other handmaids. They're basically, trying to get out of Gilead. And these letters, I guess, was going to someone. And that's what they are. Eden is not to be trusted. No, she's not Lola Garcia. Like, I want to come on there and whoop Eden. You understand what I'm saying? And even though I don't like the land of the of woman, I would love to see her live at the land of the unwomen, because she's totally sold out, but she's a danger to everybody around her, because she's not getting what she wants. She's extremely insecure. She was ready to call him a gender traitor from the very beginning because he wouldn't have sex with her when she wanted him to have sex with her. So it's just it's terrible. So we go back to the hospital. They take us back to the hospital. No, we see Serena. Serena is upstairs. She barely made it to her room. She gets up to her room and she just like, she's in severe pain because she done got all of heaven and earth beat about of her. She goes to pull her panties down, her clothes off of her. You know, her little thing, her cloak. She pulls that off first, and she's got to bring that down over her waist. And she's just, ooh. Like, the pain is so severe, she's holding on to the bedpost. Let's see. She takes her hair out of the ponytail. She walks over to the mirror and looks at her butt. And y'all, she got red open whelps and bruises all over her backside. This man beat the stink out of her. And Alfred knocks on the door. Serena, can I help you? She's like, Alfred, no, go back to your room. But she's crying and she wants it, but she's embarrassed. She's hurt. She's devastated. She's at the lowest of her low. The relationship between her and her husband is 0 to none now. She already knows that her husband not only had an affair with Alfred, but the one that came before her. Fred. See, his name is Fred Waterford. So their names is whatever his first name is, and of, because she's of him. She sends her back to the room and she goes down to the commander's door and she knocks and he peeks out. And she said, I'm sorry. I want to apologize for writing. I know I had no business doing it, but we was trying to help you out. And he was like, mm-hmm. She was like, do you forgive me? He was like, get out. Get out. Get out. The lady that had the bomb, I believe, name was of Warren, because they killed all of the Warren family. So I think that she was of Warren, of Glenn, whatever. Somebody write that down there for me. So anyway, at this point, Alfred falls down on her knees because it doesn't make a difference what she does or what she doesn't do. She can't win in this situation. There are no winners here. Even the people that have the babies and live the life, there's no winners. And so anyway, we go back to the hospital. And we hear singing, sleep, little baby, go to sleep. Rest on, you are the sunshine of my life. Yeah. That's why I always stay around. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You are the apple of my eye. Yeah. And so, on Lydia Wake Up, did you hear the singing? Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Janine up in the window, stripped all the way down to a t-shirt and some underwear. And the baby is sitting on her lap, cooing, giggling, smiling, bouncing, and laughing. Aunt Lydia almost lost her mind. She could not believe what she was seeing. This baby that has been sick and almost at her death door, when connected with her biological mother, who knew what it was that she needed to do, brought that baby back to life. The very life giver, okay, which is God, gives us the life bringer because we bring life into this world. We're the vessel that God uses to get that done. Is the one who, with his partnership, brought that baby back from the brink of death. And Lydia's happy. Janine is happy. The baby is cooing. She wakes up the puppets and they see that the baby is alive. And it goes off. There are so many things that we can gather and assume from this episode. But one thing for sure is that real mamas stand up in a time of crisis. We don't give up on our babies. And I don't care what our children are going through, whether it be physical, emotional, spiritual, whatever it is, we are going to always pray, persevere, and surround our babies with love and support and life. When we are really connected to our children as a mama, that ain't nothing we won't do. Nothing we won't do to speak life and to bring life into our children's lives. And I am not in this particular place. These women in Gilead and these men don't get it. They don't get the connection. They want these women to birth these children and then just give them to a woman who pretends to be in labor, who pretends to be a mother and has no connection with that baby. This is just your duty. When duty rises above love, there's a loss of life because God is love, and without God and love, can't none of us survive. Even plants and trees and birds and insects and all of that need the love of God for the rain to fall. They need the earth to continue to replenish itself. There's nothing that we can do, no place that we can go that he is not there, whether we accept him or not. And these moms think that because I pretend to be connected to this baby and that this is my baby, without that mama's real love, without understanding the connection between a mother and her child, they're not going to continue. They're not going to be able to continue to sustain life. You know, Aunt Lydia said earlier on that this is why we don't bring the handmaids in when the baby is sick. And I believe that they're going to have to change their policy because all that baby needed was to know that mommy was there. You cannot do this and produce children like you're producing cars I'm trying to watch my mouth. You cannot um fake this thing. And I hope that Gilead learned a lesson because Janine knew exactly what that baby needed. And she didn't give up. And one thing about us with mothers, when stuff is going on with our children, we don't sleep nor slumber. Everybody in that cotton freaking room was asleep, but Janine. Janine said, Boo, let me tell you, it's time for me to do battle. And I'm doing spiritual battle for my baby. I done prayed and said everything that I was going to say. And now it's time for me to do some serious warfare. And that warfare she did all night while everybody else was asleep brought that baby back to life. And for once, we saw Janine be normal. The Janine that we knew when she came through that door was normal. No craziness, no Looney Tunes, regardless of whether or not she had an eye or not. We saw the real Janine stand up. They picked these women because they had already had babies. And they stripped them of that. But you know what? I'm going to tell you whether or not that baby is there or not. If we carry that baby in our womb, that baby exists. Whether that baby is in heaven or not, we will still always mother that baby. I, I, this episode was so powerful. And I know there's so many things that I could see and so many things that we all can say about this particular episode. But let me tell you something. The Handmaid's Tale is really, 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 really getting good. I don't know what kind of relationship Serena is going to have with her husband. I really believe that it's over between the two of them. Um, I think that she is really realizing the errors of her ways and she's trying to make a correction. But she's in too deep. And that's why before we do things, we have to consider everything before we make a decision about something. See, she was advocating for, she was all on board. But what is it going to benefit her? Nothing. A woman's work is never done. That was the name of this episode, A Woman's Work. And I'm trying to tell you right now, those women put in some work and it is never done. The job of a mother never ends. I don't care how old our children get. We still are attached to them by that apron string, apron string. I know I am with mine, and I know you are with yours. And if anything ever happens to our kids, it's like that motherly instinct that we get in the innermost part of our hearts that everything gonna be okay. I got my baby. Waking up in the midnight hour, I'm trying to tell you, praying when your child is out there in the street or in college or in the military, and you as a mom, you get up with that unction at 2, 1, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and you get down on your knees and you don't know why you do, but you do. You know, especially when we have a strange relationship from our children. It doesn't make a difference how mad you make me or how mad I make you. You still my baby. And I'm going to go into spiritual warfare anytime I think something's going on with mine. Y'all, this was a good episode. And I hope that y'all enjoyed it. I know there was some pauses in this thing with me reading and trying to keep up and go all, but I hope that you all enjoyed this review. Um, it so was my intention on doing last week's, but you know what? Can't go back to it now. But thank you so much for being here tonight. I want to say a special thank you to Sarah for moderating and always having my back. Thank you so much for all of you who always come up and you just like ride or die with me. I saw my Zena 64 out there, my Lola Garcia, my Nessie G, my Tasha, my Gigi Rivers. I see y'all out there. Thank y'all so much. I see Ashley is out there. Let me see who else out there. Liz, Amon, enjoyed it very much. Thank you. I see my Miss Michelle. Love you. Mwah, Miss Michelle. Love you so much. Y'all have a wonderful night. And guess what? You're going to see me tomorrow because we're going to be doing our live chat nightcap, talking all things crazy mofo 90 day fiance and some updates. Yeah, got some updates. So get ready, y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. Love y'all. Good night. A woman's work. A woman's work.